Okay, we're live. Well, YouTube says we're live. Hello, everybody. Normally I'd do the intro, but this is special, so I'm not going to yell it out. I actually just want to double-check that everything's going okay, because we're streaming from my end, not Lucky's. So go ahead and let me know how I sound to you guys, and I'll see if I have to, like, scooch up my mic gain or anything. I know some people sometimes don't think I'm very loud when I'm streaming. The audio on Audacity is a little smaller than normal. Hello, Legendary. All right. So we'll pivot off standby into this. I will call this bed number 1. I'm going for a little bit. I see people in chat. Yeah, I'm not chilling in a recording channel. So, hello, everyone. I am a little bit low. Okay. Good to check. So let us bust open my sound settings and give my mic gain a little bit of extra juice. My microphone, yeah, it seems a little minimal yield. Where's my sound control panel? Let's give me a little bit extra mic juice. Just a little bit. Only a tiny bit. Properties. Levels. All right, I'm at 24. Let's try 29. How do I sound now? I'll pivot back. As I do crazy troubleshooting. So this is mic level 29. I was at 24 before. You've got 4 extra mic level points. Sounds good? Everybody okay? I'm not too loud to y'all? For people in cheap seats? I definitely feel like my audio levels on the computers are better as well. Okay, cool. We've been going for a couple of minutes. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk FGO, kind of. Good. I'm glad everything's going. Sorry, like I said, I'm streaming from my end. I don't normally do that for these, but we're in a special circumstance, as you can tell by the fact that it's been several minutes. Lucky is not here with me. Justice for the couch, yes. You can even see he's currently reported missing in our thumbnail here. I don't know the exact details right now. I just know that Lucky messaged me about an hour ago. Yeah, about an hour ago now. And basically said that he is really busy with some stuff at home. Some stuff's come up. He is not available tonight. And he said that he should be all good, all cleared up by tomorrow, but wasn't sure for sure. So we talked about it a little bit. I talked to him on mobile. And basically I said I would do a light Let's Talk FGO where I would run through the news and stuff, because there's actually some pretty big news this week. You know, some stuff. 1 million downloads, all that things. Stuff going on with the new event in JP. So I figured we'd do that and some other stuff, and that would be kind of like tonight's show, as usual. We normally record around this time anyway. And also to kind of, you know, talk about it being a little weird and a little unusual, I'm also going to do something I don't normally do, and field questions from the chat to compensate for patrons, because they normally get to listen to this live, but we're being weird. I will be taking priority questions later when I do Q&A stuff, to basically sub in for the fact that there's no mailbag this week, as you may have noticed. Lucky has been too busy to post it as well. So, and he's not here to read them, so I wouldn't want to step on his. But I will field some live questions, and I will be doing prio to our patron chat in Discord. So if you are a Patreon, I will be more likely to eyeball and read your questions sooner. But with all that stuff, hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk FGO. Now, normally I introduce myself and Lucky in a funny way, but I feel like that whole last couple of minutes is there. Lucky obviously did not have a chance to write a new intro, so we're going to not talk about that. But as usual, we're here. We're talking about news and memes. If you don't want to get spoiled, just don't watch the stream. It's that easy. Turn it off. Go outside. Touch grass. Before we get too far into it, though, I do want to, as always, thank our wonderful, beautiful patrons. You're great, and remind you that the show is brought to you by them, included but not limited to Adam DeHarp, Aga Comics, Akazime, Arta10, Black SG, Carlos, Dragon, Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Richard Raptor, Rogue Robin, Sharvar, Sean Pryor, Some Guy Named Rob, 23, and Baron the Crow. If you like what we do and want us to do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You could get your name read out here, too. And all that other fun stuff. Fun things. Oh, that's horrible. I know what that's like. sometimes I, too, cannot touch grass for ants. But yes, my efforts to bump up Patreon subscriptions have not worked so far, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But hi, we're here. You guys are chatting okay. Hopefully the screen is out there. Hold on. I've got 5 billion windows open right now to run all this stuff. Yeah, looks like the text is coming in okay. You guys are in the little corner with the Trung Sisters. Yes, we'll be talking about them later. But also, I would like to say right now, before we get into any regular segments, because we're streaming my audio, I can actually do my sound cue for this and everything. Everybody, make sure to make some noise in the live chat and in the comments later, if you're listening to this after the fact, talking about how much you miss Lucky and you appreciate him and you wish him the best in life. I always know he loves to hear that kind of thing when this sort of stuff happens. So go ahead and fire off, your appreciations and all those fun things. Aren't South American ants scarier than Australian ants? Anyway. The true live stream experience. But while y'all make some noise, I'm going to move swiftly on. And we're going to... Actually, should I just... Yeah. I'll just show you what actually, no. I need to do my sound cue, so I don't want to be futzing with my windows. So we'll show you what little special follow-along-at-home thing I've gotten for you in a second. First, let's check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
Senpai, 起きてください.
And that should have carried over properly. So, there you go. You guys get to listen to the sound cue live. I know we don't normally do that, but that's because we're streaming from my machine. So, let's go ahead and hide title card. Behold, the show notes. Yes, there'll be spoilers here, but we get to do the show notes, so you guys can see everything. Oh, thank you for your super chat as well, Despair. I'm sure Lucky will appreciate that. But yes, okay, so the chat window fits perfectly into the outline slide and the margins. You guys can see the show notes. This is what I'm going to do while we run through business and stuff. You guys can follow along at home. So, we're currently in Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips. Wow, I really buffered that read. Anyway, we're here. Gonna make sure to pull up my my OBS window so I can see chat scroll by. So, this one's very simple this week. With your free SSR ticket coming up, remember that this is a temporary servant, so to keep them forever and to not become a meme, a literal meme human, you need to get them to Bond 5 and Ascended. I don't know why I wrote that as Ascended. You get to see all my grammatical errors that I usually self-fix, but you get to ascend them at least once. There you go. That's how you keep the servant forever. So keep that in mind, as that's very important right now. It's kind of the whole big, huge clickbait thing I did for the title. But we're going to move swiftly on. For me only, we have my Records to the Throne, our regular achievement topic this week. There's no evil other than that Lucky is not here. Yes, I have accomplished protecting Caenis' smile. I'm still working on my Dioscuri and Roma. They're kind of split up right now, but don't worry, that'll be very easy in the future. You're going to see that in a second. So, we're just going to keep moving through our business pretty quick. We're going to move on down here. 2, did you finish your master missions? As you can see, you can read the list right here. It's very simple. You need to perform 30 FP summons. You need to defeat 15 Sabers or Berserkers, defeat 15 Archers or Assassins, defeat 15 Lancers, Casters, or Riders, get 15 EXP drops, and acquire 30 EXP drops. So, basically, do dailies. Do dailies for EXPs, do some FP summons. You'll be alright. We are in some reduced AP, and we got some future stuff coming up. So, with all of that out of the way, as things are chillin', we're gonna keep our breakneck pace, and we're gonna talk about Skelegrams. We're gonna run through the news. This is the primary reason why I'm still doing the show and doing all the live and stuff. Well, it is a terrible shame that I cannot get reactions from Lucky while we talk about this. We'll have to see what he thinks about some of this stuff later. I can get reactions from y'all, so we can, get feedback right away. I believe. Yeah. Did I write Ascension mats? I think it's actually their NP copies. It's something. There's something in the store. So we'll cover that because that is first. Sorry, I have OBS streaming a separate window for this, so if I accidentally like tabbed over to Twitter, we wouldn't be bombarded by tits or something accidentally. You never know with the internet. But JP is currently doing Sea Monster Crisis, started the 6th, going until the 27th. It's a pretty big boy long event. It is a time-gated construction event, so similar to Summer 1. There's time gates on the story, you do construction and upgrades for these little sea cucumber mushroom people. I think they're called Kon or something. Ken? Somebody can let me know they're playing it. They're very adorable. They're all over the thumbnail. Here, I'll slap back over here so you can see them again. They come in different varieties. So you've got some decent little fun stuff in there. I'm already seeing lots of meme screen caps. It seems like a very fun event. But it is time-gated down, and it has a mystery welfare. One of the few times this has ever happened. People have their own theories and stuff. Oh, okay, so it is con, and it's a Vietnamese word. All right, there's a lot of interesting Vietnamese vibes. Very funny, considering that, unfortunately, Global had to shut down their Vietnamese branch. Maybe they'll reopen it in a little bit when they can figure out how to pay taxes or whatever. But yeah, so we have a mystery welfare. I have read that this happens very rarely. I think the main instances have been, like, Irisville and Chloe, where, like, those characters we didn't even realize were going to be the welfare until very late in the event. So we've got some interesting wiggle room. The notes specifically say, we know they exist because they've got something in the post-story shop. They've got, like, servant coins and maybe NP copies or something. I haven't actually seen an image of the shop, but there's things in the shop, so there is a welfare. They said it's a question mark. Some people were like, ooh, is it an SR ticket? No, it seems like it's actually a welfare. They just haven't appeared yet. Like I said, people have their theories, but we're still waiting with a question mark on this one. I think we got a few more days before all the time gates are open. Now, this is interesting. So it is honestly quite similar to Summer. So the bonus servants, which we listed last week's show, you can go check those out, because that was all part of the big lore dump. You can find the time codes. You have better damage rates and bond increase for these bonus servants, but the various servant classes actually increase the generation or drop rate of some mysterious sea creatures we've talked about. So, depending on what servant you have, you will get different drop rates and things. Ooh, there's 2 blank servant spots. Okay, so, well, I mean, the event, I want to highlight this. The event officially goes on until the 27th. Basically right up until the end of the whatchamacallit, the Golden Week event. So this should abut right next to the Learning with Manga collab. It will also overlap with the end of the FGU arcade campaign. But I'm not going to go too crazy with the theories. Just, this event has a very big window. I am suspecting some, like, CCC tier nonsense coming out here. So I think CCC is also another long-time one. If it is along that vein, it might also make sense, because Summer Melt has glasses in the RP shop for 2 rare prisms, and if you've cleared CCC either time, you get it for free. I love this little feature, free costumes, like, don't even need the rare prisms. All you need is to have cleared a CCC. We also do have a summon banner. Our current summon banner is the new limited SSR Saber. I'm still saying it, Trung Sisters. I'm sorry. There's the weird tail on the U that I was never taught to pronounce. I do not know why Anglicization does these things. But also Summer Melt rate up. I believe it's been a little bit, plus some new CEs. A lot of people are appreciating the event CE for Summer Melt. I'm sure if Lucky was here, that would be in the thumbnail. You should go look it up sometime. But, yeah, we also did get a rank up for Wu Zetan, which I think I may have misspelled. Is that it's Wu Zishan? But anyway, Google didn't catch it. So her Imperial Privilege has been buffed. I do believe a couple of vanilla IPs have actually been amped. So not only does it have the self-heal and the 60% chance to buff when used, you also get 10% NP gauge for the team and 20 to 30% crit up for 3 turns for the team. So, kind of just helping into a more support assassin slot, giving you some flex on there. And now we're going to pivot to NA for a long while as we power through these. And we got a weird one. So, this happened like out of the blue a couple days ago. But we have, sorry, the pauses are me checking chat. They'll be edited out of the audio version, $1 for patrons. What they are calling, and I copied this from the website, it is, actually, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Hold on. I'm going to do an audible here. I'm going to click pop-out chat, and I'm going to pull up OBS, and I'm going to put pop-out chat in my window. Data mining is a dark science. All right, now that I've got pop-out chat, I can keep track of that and also flow the show, and I can use my 2 monitors set up like a pro. Okay. So, the official name of this, which I have, like I said, copied directly from the website, is Part 2, Chapter 5, Conclusion Commemorative Pickup Summon. Running from the 6th until the 15th. So, basically, along with the half AP stuff, filling out the extra gap before the 17 million downloads, which you can see some of the stuff right there, and I will recap and explain some of those things. This is an interesting one. So we basically have Lost Belt 5 Banner Part 3, or if you count Atlantis, because it does have some Atlantis characters on it, Part 5, Summon Banner 5, whatever. It's weird, but this is an NA exclusive rate-up. Probably making up for some missed banners we've gotten along the way. So it's got a rotating rate-up of Raikou and Drake. Raikou is limited, by the way, so this is an extra rate-up. And on all times, you have Medea Lily and Lancer Artoria Alter rate-ups, who are story-locked. So it's an interesting banner. A lot of people are like, bait, it's bait. I mean, it's a million downloads campaign where they've got a rotation of a shitload of SSRs who are limited anyway. This is basically just like an extra week of that. So, you know, I mean, compared to, like, the Requiem collab, yeah, kinda. Well, that's good. I still don't have a Medea Lily. I don't think I'll get one off this, because, I got a weekly... I got a wiki ticket. I got a weekly ticket tonight. I might throw it at this banner just to see what the hap is. But, yeah, I mean... So, it's still an interesting, you know, prospect, right? Like... We've got a Raikou rate up. She's limited. She's still pretty good. Lily and Lancer Artoria Alter, very limited use. Drake's fun, so. Yeah, but Musashi's only got like a couple of days in there, Robin. So it's. I know Musashi is the headliner. There's still like 6 more servants in the list. I got them written down somewhere. We'll get to there in a second. But yeah, that's the commemorative banner thing we've talked about here. So let's move on to our next blob of news. The 17 million downloads campaign has been announced, running from the 14th to the 21st. So it is the big one, the SSR ticket one, the one you've all been waiting for. I know you have been waiting for it. Yes, indeedy. A little sad we've plowed through this at 18 minutes. We're probably going to be talking about chat for a while. But yeah, so you've got limited master missions, one of which gives you a free SSR exchange ticket. If you have cleared Orleans Section 1, this is what the website tells me, you can access the thing. And then you get to pick from a list of 25, I counted them, SSRs. Hold on, I still got to scooch through the extra Gudako hacking to get to the actual list. So your selections are from a fine collection of prominent vintage servants. You've got to pick from Altera, Arturia, Mordred, Arjuna, Orion, Artemis, not Super Orion, Napoleon, Enkidu, Karna, Bradamante, Achilles, Europa, Osmandio, Drake, funnily enough. The Drake on the banner is kind of silly, because if you really want a Drake, you can just literally get one for free. But hey, anyway. Anastasia. Xuanzong. Sorry, I, mind farted there. I'm like, how pronounce name again? Punch Lady. Scheherazade. Yes, I can say that one for free. Waiver. Which, by the way, if you guys may remember, in JP, this was called the waiver ticket. It's very funny. Yeah, someone even said it in chat, Number Hunter. Yeah. A lot of people call this the waiver ticket. Tamamo, Osakabe Hime, Jack the Ripper, Vlad, Vampire Vlad, duh. Zhang Yu, Nightingale, Jean, and Jinako, a.k.a. Ganesha, a.k.a. Great Statue God. So, you've even got some extra classes in there. It's basically every SSR up until the end of last year who is permanent. So, depending on how you've gotten there, there's some relatively new ones in there. There's a wide variety. I have spoken at length about what my pick is. It should shock nobody. It's Tamamo. I haven't had a Tamamo for like 5 goddamn years of this game. And as I now have an NP2 Dioscuri who I am raising, I will appreciate the frickin' art support and healing and shit. You know? A lot of people are like, double Castoria, but she's good. But Tamamo also does other things. It's crazy good. But yeah, there's a wide variety in there. Feel free to shout out who you're going to get in the chat. You can also leave in the comments, guys. I know you guys love to leave comments on these kinds of things. But there are a few other things to run through. So once you exchange the ticket, I will remind you, the unlock is temporary unless you fulfill the conditions I noted above. It says on the website that, with some clarifications and stuff, that, well, luckily you have, I think, a month to exchange it, and then you got until, June. You got, 2 months to actually do the raising. As I was saying, if you already own the servant at the appropriate bond/ascension level, it should apply immediately. Basically, I believe you don't have to ascend the new one once to keep it, it's already permanent and you can work on there. And bond levels are transitive, so you already meet the bond 5 requirement. Now, if you're thinking of doing something funny, I would like to remind you, as is written down here, you do not get a Saint Graph if you have a servant you have at NP5 already. It doesn't work. It said so on the website. But the servant you pick gets double EXP. I will be taking hella advantage of that. Yeah, Robin just said it in chat as well. You cannot get a USO. You don't get an unused and unregistered Saint Graph. So there's no gaming the system. You can't wish for infinite SSRs, guys. I'm very happy about that double EXP, though. That's probably going to go easier for me. I got so many of these SSRs to pick up. There is a social media campaign right now on Twitter and Facebook for 30 Saint Quartz. So everybody, if you are watching live and you have not, please go dig up that Facebook post or tweet and start interacting with it. Give it social media interactions. Tell all your friends to give it social media interactions. You got a freaking 10 spin on this, okay? So go for it. So we have our usual consecutive login bonus for 10 of things, all the way up to 10 tickets as well. So that's another 10 spin, basically, another 11 summons. So these are the login rewards. You got to work on all that. Robin, you'll have to yell at Lucky another day to see if he wants a reminder. And we also have a new feature, cumulative logins. So they do actually track how many times you log in during this sequence. Not the most optimal, but still pretty decent. Basically, log in for 4 days total somewhere in here for some gold foes, some mana prisms, and a rare prism. I believe it's 200 mana prisms and 1 RP. Now, there are going to be limited master missions, which will give you a new command code, a new shiny Musashi command code. Up to 20 more Saint Quartz and 50 Embers. And to perform these master missions, let me tab on back over. Let me see what that list is. Okay, so it's... So, to get your maximum rewards, You'll need to complete all. There's 10 sync words behind that. But basically, you need to complete 8 to get the command code. You get the sync quartz for story milestones. So, I would like to let everybody know, and I will absolutely call out Loth, even though he's not even freaking awake yet. But to get all of your sync quartz and all of your rewards, you must clear Lost Belt 5 Olympus Section 1. That's for 3 sync quartz, so that counts if you want all of your 20 sync quartzes. You got to get that far. So you've got, it's first singularity, third singularity, 6, Lost Belt 1, Section 1, and Lost Belt 5, Section 1. So you just got to get to Section 1. And then the rest is do dailies. Like, you get all your EXPs for, do a free quest, do Treasure Vault, do Training Grounds, do Ember, and do 30 FP summons. Okay, we're already at 60k-ish. Well, again, if you haven't done it already, please go ahead and get out there because we're very close to the St. Quartz, but nothing gets people jazzed on social media than a free 10 spin. Am I right? So. No. You don't need to finish Olympus. If you've started Olympus, you're fine. You have to clear Olympus Section 1, so you have to just beat the first chapter of Olympus, which I think is mostly story. There's like one fight in there? Are there 2 fights? You gotta fight some guys? It's not a boss fight. So you don't have to complete Olympus, but you do have to clear Olympus Section 1. All of these are kind of generous. You just have to clear Section 1. You gotta get started. Yeah, to get the command code, you need to complete 8 missions, so let's see. If you complete first singularity Section 1, you get the ticket, so that counts. And then there are 5 for the Ember, so that's 6. So yeah, you have to have at least gotten to Camelot Section 1. Again, according to the website, so yeah. You just have to get started on these areas, but yes. I mean, there's technically 2 free 10 spins in here. There's 10 tickets if you log in. Additionally, all EXP, Ember Gathering, and Training Ground quests will be unlocked for a limited time from the 14th until the 21st. So you only get your Mana Prism rewards the first time, but you can access all there. Yeah, sorry, I tweeted out I got started early. I gave it a little bit of extra wiggle room. But I was just kind of sitting here doing nothing, so I was set up early and decided to fire off. You can go out and check the archive. I'm sorry about that, starting early. But that's why I made some notifications on Twitter and on Discord. In fact, I fired an at everybody at Discord, which seems to have worked. Where was I? Right, dailies. So yeah, all your dailies are open, Training Grounds, Ember dailies, all that stuff. So you can farm to your heart's content. You do not get half a P, but I have like 600 gold apples, so. I like how even when I'm live streaming, people won't stop stop posting an art dump. Where was I? Oh god, I'm lost in the sauce. I have so many tabs. There we go. There's my notes. All right, so another funny thing. Hey, speaking of you catching up. Up until Olympus, all story quests from Part 1 and Part 2 are 0 AP. Not even like quarter AP, 0 AP. Yeah, you've got until like 6/20 or something. It's very long. You've got until like late June. But yeah, still do at least remember to get your Bond of Ascension stuff. Don't be that meme of where did my SSR go. But yeah, so 0 AP on story quests up to Olympus. It says up to, so I assume that doesn't include Olympus, but still, damn, that's just literally free real estate. Not EOR, of course, because those don't count. Part 1 and Part 2 free quests will have half AP until clear. So yeah, also free quest pickup. I know I have some more free quests to scoop up. So that's half AP as well. That's pretty good. You get 50 extra command code slots for free. Your default inventory just gets bigger. That's always fun when they do that. So we have a new MP Shop CE, which will be coming out during this. Free seating. It features the Nemo team, and it gives you QP and Mystic Code EXP up. So I'm sure many of you will be super freak out running on walls that I mentioned it boosts QP. Also, Bella Lisa's coming back to the Rare Prism shop. If you missed it, be sure to slap that up. Obviously, not a huge deal for us right now, as we actually talk about this. I'm sure the people who have been watching this live for 30-ish minutes are, our actual hardcores. But there is also a Start Dash bonus and a Returning Master bonus. So Start Dash is increased. I think it's doubled for the time period, and there's Returning Master bonuses if you haven't logged in a couple months. So if you've been skipping on your FGO, you're coming back, you see a big clickbaity title with some weird thumbnail about getting your free SSR, Start Dash and Returning Master bonus. Thumbs up. And of course, you guys know you are interested in it. The banner. We have a banner rotation for this downloads campaign. We shall be speaking of... Hey, chat, stop stealing my jokes. Obviously, our headliner is Musashi, as several people in chat have already pointed out. This is Musashi's last proper rate-up, ever in history until the future unknown. There's a horrible joke I could make about that, but I'm not gonna. I know some people aren't done with Olympus yet. As chat already said, yes, we have the obligatory Gil rate-up. Gilgamesh is back. I even said this, in our Discord, that night when this got announced. I think it was, last night or a couple nights ago. I was like, you cannot escape him. He's here. But we also got a Kentoki rate-up, a Bryn rate-up, a Skahak rate-up, a Jolter rate-up, a Da Vinci caster, not writer, rate-up, an Ishtar rate-up, and also during all of this, you'll be getting access to your 2019 New Year's CEs. No, I had the same thought, but as you, Alessandro, but I'm not going to say that. Some people haven't finished yet. We'll leave that in the open. You will probably all think of it if you've beaten Olympus. But yes, there's a Bryn rate-up back, Skahak's back, Jolter's back, Da Vinci's back, Ishtar, of course, glad to see her. And those sweet, sweet New Year's CEs. So obviously meant to be a little bit of a Musashi celebration, but a smatterblang of others. So it's pretty cool. That's our, big selling point, obviously. We go through the 1 million downloads, got all that fun stuff. Big banners, big downloads. I'm jazzed. If they give us 30 free Saint Quartz, and, no, my Ishtar's not even NP2. And also, this is a rotating banner, so I don't need to worry about extra Ishtars. Yeah, Scott gets her costume this year, and I'm pretty sure she gets a rate-up then as well. So, getting extra rate-ups, thumbs up. So on the one hand, I do like Musashi. However, I'm very much in the hole for her. I still got a lot of my SQ from being an absolute madman and rolling on stream last time, which scored me an extra Deuce Curia Caenis and a Romulus Quirinus, so I could be a little spicy. Yeah, there's 30 SQ and there's 10 tickets. I may bust out the Saint Quartz they're going to give me anyway on the Musashi Day, assuming we get all the stuff and the rewards drop. And maybe the tickets. That might miss timing, though, because, you got to log in for 7 days. So it's rotational. But we'll see what happens. But also, we do got, presumably right after this, whatchamacallit, the Fate Requiem collab coming up, which has Voyager and, most importantly, for us over here, for people on this channel, Kyokoyo. We stand a dinosaur wife in this house, okay? I'm not going to take any of that crap that JP doesn't like her because they think she's weird. We believe in dinosaurs here, okay? All right, I'm glad everybody understands me. So yeah, those are my plans there. I'm sure I'll weep all about it on the show next week. Oh yeah, people are saying the Gouda Requiem. So, Gouda first, I think. Unless they want to move stuff around. Yeah, that starts the 14th. Okay, so you may or may not hear me weep about it next week's show, which should hopefully be normal. Well, we'll see if Gouda Gouda is actually next, I guess. Because you are correct, that should be before Requiem. I don't know if it will be. Probably because we don't exactly do our collabs on Golden Week anyway. So, I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't mind the rerun. Give me a little more space. Give me a little more time. Yep, Kentucky gets a rate up. He will get I think he gets one of the rate ups during hand kill. Maybe not, though. Those are pretty busy banners. But he gets his costume then for the main story stuff, which is rad. So I'm down for that as well. But it's an interesting time. And if you want us to predict about Guda Guda and stuff, you'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they clear it up before too long. Because Oh, the downloads. Yeah, okay. I could dig up the calendar and check, but I've got chat, like, right fucking here, and these guys are my second brain anyway. If you ever hear me shouting out to chat during a normal show, this is why. It's because the people are usually on the ball and can research stuff a lot faster than me, especially while I'm running this entire command center right now. But all right, normally, this is where we'd break for mailbag, but there is no mailbag this week. The mailman is gone. Where is he? I don't know. I put his face on a milk carton. We'll see if that works. Did anybody buy milk carton? Okay, so Musashi's Parade Up comes a couple days after we get the 10 summon? Okay. All right, so there'll be another Kentucky opportunity. Still, good stuff. So we're going to scroll down. So I decided to do two things. One, we have a new servant. New servant deets. I always do this. You get to see my whole cleverness right here. And I think all my numbers are right. Again, I usually blitz these all out in one go, and I like proofread them once, and then the second time I proofread them is on the show. But I guess you're all proofreading with me today. So we're going to jump straight to free talk. Pre-release for Heian-kyo. Okay. Good. Thumbs up. Thank you, chat. New servant deets. This is very funny, but the Trung Sisters are a new limited SSR, and they have a decent attack HP spread. They're not quite the highest in attack, not quite the highest in HP, but still decent, which is very similar to the Dioscuri. They're almost within a couple 100 points of each other. It's very funny. However, unlike the Dioscuri, their kit is QAABB with strong hit counts, so a little bit of a lower NP gain. I'm not quite sure what Lasengal was thinking about that one. I think it's like 0.4 something. 4.6, 4.8. So, not the smartest move. But they do have 2 arts cards, I guess. But their NP is a single target arts. It gives the party 1k heal per turn for 3 turns, and also buffs the team for their arts and buster effectiveness up for 3 turns. It's based on overcharge. I believe the starting percentage is 10%. So it's not quite the Dioscuri's true damage effect, but it is definitely kind of a like team buff thing. Their first skill is a slant on charisma. It's not only a 10 to 15% attack up, but also gives the team 10 to 15% arts up for 3 turns as well. So kind of mixing and matching. I believe that is technically better if you're using arts cards than just a 20% attack up, but that's the only case it's better. All right, well, share with the group. Yeah. So, our second skill. Yeah, no. I mean, sabers were very rare before. Like, until Jason, there was literally no bronze saber. There were only, like, two silver sabers. I feel like they've done a lot to, like, make sure sabers are diversified, even weirdly. Yes, they have a lot of arts ups. So, yeah, their second skill gives them a 10 to 50% arts up for 3 turns, and also gives them an on-hit buff for 3 turns to give another further 10% arts or buster for the rest of the turn on the opposite card. So, when this buff is in effect, if you hit with a buster card, you get 10% arts up for the turn. If you hit with an arts card, you get 10% buster up for the turn. So kind of like flip-flopping back and forth. I assume this is why their NP gain is a little lower, because your arts amps can get very strong. You can do BBA, and that means you'll get an extra 20% on that arts card. Yeah, no, if you use Tamamo's skill up, you can actually overlap these, because as I did put in my notes, once you max out this second skill, it has a 4-turn cooldown. So, this 3-turn buff with a 4-turn cooldown is basically almost always up. That's pretty interesting. Once again, I assume this is why the NP gain is low, because if you max out this servant, you're basically constantly at 50% arts up minimum. It's a little weird and interesting. Our final skill is a 20 to 30% battery on self. It gives the party 10 to 20% NP gain. Again, maybe this is why they left them a little lower. And gives the party 10 to 20% critical resistance for 3 turns. This is an interesting sort of defensive skill. Kind of their only defensive. I mean, they have a 1k heal per turn on their NP, but this is their only defensive skill. Yeah, you can do BAB as well. There's a lot of weird math. Yes, they have strong team synergy. Passives are Magic Resistance B, Writing B, so that one quick card actually does something, and a Divinity C, so there's a little bit of damage plus in there. So, like, overall, math-wise, the Sisters are definitely a bit of a slower unit or a team support unit compared to the Dioscuri. So the Gemini can really rev up damage, especially if we get their crits to proc. Like, that's a little RNG heavy, but if the twins are critting, they're doing a lot, and the way their synergy with arts and quick cards works is, like, stupid good. This is not the same, and the Sisters are not going to outpace even Saber Hokusai without a couple of NP levels, which is always a Sorry, I tried to say deep and big at the same time. It's always a big ask with limited SSRs. You know, you never know how hard people are going to want to go, especially if there's a mystery second banner. We've got a fucking collab coming up. God knows if something is going to happen with Arcade, right? It's a little bit of a weird time. But as Robin pointed out, they have way better team synergy than Dioscuri do. I believe all of Dioscuri's buffs are selfish. I think they're all self-targeting. And if not, the buffs that aren't self-targeting aren't super powerful. The Trung Sisters are able to synergize with other team members. Yeah, you can do... Now, I believe they're limited. I'll double-check. I saw it as limited, but you never know. Like I said, I only proofread these once, and you guys are seeing my notes basically unedited, so... Yes, at the top of FGO Wiki, this is a limited servant only available during special summoning campaigns. If anybody is certain whether or not that is correct, and that is on the fandom wiki right now, go ahead and let me know. But yeah, so they're limited, so again, that's a bit of a deep ask. It is a dig into your wallet, yeah. But the team synergy and the healing, you know, on their NP definitely means they're much more stally or grindy related. Yeah, the wiki probably just hadn't updated yet. Those guys at Fandom, you know, Fate Grand Order Wikia, they're fast, but that means that sometimes they're not able to get all the stuff out right away. You know, there's no hard defense. Yeah, they've got a little bit of a spookle. Let's pull that title card back up. You can see I got a little bit of a spookle. Here, let me even hide chat for a second. It's an interesting look. Okay, so their second skill does have some team stuff. Yeah. The Trung Sisters are befitting the fact that they are, like, legendary leaders, you know. Famous historical queens. It definitely, I think, befits them better to have all this team support. You know, like I said, they've got an arts charisma. So if you're doing art team synergy, I think basically the idea here, and this is probably why their NP gain is lower, with the Trung Sisters, you don't loop. You go from NP to NP to NP naturally, as in, like, Trung Sisters go, Dioscuri goes, maybe an AoE Art Saber goes. Do we have AoE Art Sabers? Those exist, right? Anyway, maybe, you know, Summer Hokusai goes, and you basically beat up all the enemies one by one while slowly regenerating HP. Or you could just go super tank strats and do, like, Castoria Merlin Tamamo, whatever, and just, you know, full tank. Full send it tank. Right. Nira's AoE. She's story-locked. Nira could also use some buffs. Castoria, and Koinskaya as well. Koinskaya also has cooldown, right? Muramasa, yeah, that's another new one. He's not out in NA yet, so I don't think of him. That would also probably be pretty funny. Muramasa has some bonus damages on him. So, there's definitely some interesting team comps you can do. I know some people are kind of like, oh, they don't loop, they're the worst ever. I don't think they're the worst ever. This is definitely one of those cases where Lucky and I talk about this. Just imagine, the Force Ghost of Lucky behind me speaking to you. We should do a Force Ghost fucking tier event. I'll talk to Lucky about that as well if he's not too busy. We need a Link hat and we need a Force Ghost. Or I need to just blue shift the beard tier event he gave me for God of War. Anyway, no servant is an island. So do not think of servants in isolation. Often you will find some servants are really designed for solo content, right? Like Super Orion is an absolute lunatic madman. He is designed for solos. He actively wants you to yeet all your other servants into the void. But that doesn't always work. Some boss or quest designs will be, actively designed to resist that. So sometimes you got to do some other stuff. These guys have team synergy. I think definitely that AoE critical resistance is a very interesting. Crit resistance is very new. I think it got introduced about a year ago with Avalon stuff. So you can do some very interesting things. But yeah, there's a lot of overlap there. You can do a lot of fun stuff. Oh, so Voyager was the first one to bring crit resist. I haven't done his wanted yet, so I didn't know. In that case, I think they let that sit for a long time then. I remember a lot of units around Avalon having crit resist come up. Though, obviously, when they added append skills, Berserkers get critical resistance. So maybe that's why I'm thinking of it that way, because that was that anniversary. Sorry, guys. I was just thinking about Avalon stuff, being jazzed. But alrighty. There's one more thing to do. There's a little bit of business. There's a usual segment we do that we haven't covered yet. And that is, so you didn't get that 5-star. Yes, banners have come and gone, and we didn't really have an opportunity with all of the giant fucking recaps to what was going on with the Olympus story chapter for me to organically tuck in so you didn't get this 5-star for Caenis, or also Caenis, and also Caenis. So we're going to do that now. Get ready to beat some dudes up with me. Finally, let's talk about Caenis as a unit, not as a person. A locked SR Lancer. So, shockingly, Caenis has high attack and low HP for her class slot, or her class slot. Caenis, by the way, very weird to talk about because there's a lot of flexibility in the Japanese pronouns. A lot of people refer to her, him, her, masculinely, but also others don't, and I can't tell what's, like, people being sassy and what's, like, respect or whatever, and then what's just ambiguous. If you look at the actual, like, mechanics of FGO and Caenis' own profile, Caenis is listed as unknown or null gender. It's very weird. It's very weird to write about because the game isn't consistent. But anyway, that's some deep thoughts to talk about. I know that in some of Caenis' Bond lines and in the Lost Belt manga, it's almost like Caenis kind of thinks of themselves as two separate people. Like, Caenis IS is who she was before the Poseidon incident, and then Caenis with a US is who Caenis was after the Poseidon incident. Well, that's Caenis' EX Madness enhancement, which we'll talk about in a second. So it's almost like, Caenis as a heroic spirit is literally two people. It's a little weird. I think even Summer Caenis has, like, more relaxed and arguably more feminine language, but also still and has Beach Crisis, which is very funny, but also still has, like, masculine words used in, like, NP descriptions. It's a weird one. I'll probably use her because that was what they used in the moment of emotional peak in the game. But anyway, let's talk about Caenis' unit stuff. You've got Quick Arts Buster. So, Lancer deck. Median hit counts. So, what we call a monstrous NP gain. It's not like one hit count huge. It's not over 1%, but it's like 0.86. So, it's pretty baller. That AQQ is actually going to generate you quite a bit of NP. So, her NP is an AoE buster. Pretty typical for this time period. It's got a NP damage before it fires buff for 3 turns based on overcharge. 10% to start. I don't know why I wrote only there. But it's 10% to start. And also gives Caenis a 50% crit damage for 3 turns. So that's pretty baller. That's 50% for 3 turns. Very typical for a skill activation. Hypothetically, the NP damage lasts for 3 turns, so you might be able to loop it. You probably need to wait till like Coin Skya memes, though, before that works. So first skill, completely vanilla monstrous strength. It's like a B. It gives you 2 turns of 20 to 40% attack. Don't know why I wrote 2% there. Glad I can catch these things. Glad you can learn with me, chat. So 20 to 40% attack up, just pure damage output for 2 turns. Once again, kind of like you've got some like critical chances or some NP looping chances, depending on what kind of setups you can do. You can get some stuff back. And it's just, pure damage up. It's not Kentoki's absolutely ludicrous 50% attack up, but still slaps pretty hard. And Caenis already has really good attack for a 4-star Lancer. Now, the second skill is a 3-3 buff, so 3 turns, 3 hits, to when Caenis performs a regular attack, it gives enemies 10% attack down and Caenis 10 to 20% attack up based on skill level for 1 turn on normal attacks. So, basically, give Caenis a Brave Chain, Caenis will get a lot of attack up and stack some attack downs for the crackback, and you can get some real power input on this. Now, keep in mind, it says on the wiki, I haven't tested this myself, but it says on the wiki this is normal attacks only, so it doesn't trigger when you use the NP card. But still, this can give you some interesting buffs and debuff opportunities. This also will get a buff later. There is a Caenis interlude. So this will also give Caenis a stars per turn buff, 5 to 15, and a 20% battery flat. So this means you can K-scope with Caenis and other stuff. Works better with some different servants for, 50% charge ups and so on. And also the stars per turn to kind of like solidify your star gen strats. Caenis really does have a slight edge on the critical damage output here. Final skill is a 2 to 3k, 3 hits, 3 turns damage cut. Absolutely monstrous. Crazy good, guys. Like, stupid good defensive ability. 3k damage cut for 3 hits, and a 1 to 3k guts for 3 turns. Fairly normal. Passives are Magic Resistance C, Madness Enhancement EX. There's lore behind this. But also, it does mean those buster cards are strong. And a Unique Divinity, so Caenis gets not only the damage plus, but also gets like an 8% up on arts, so that 1 arts card slaps pretty good. You will notice, by the way, by this point, Delightworks and now Single, basically as a system, if a servant has like 1 color card they only have 1 of, either they are really good at those 2 cards they use, or that 3rd card type gets a little bit of a helping hand. They'll throw in an arts buff or like a writing quick buff, maybe a buster buff. Buster is the one that's mostly ignored in this because of the damage potential, but yeah, it's fairly good to shore up that 1 arts card. So, like I said, AQQ will actually generate you more NP than you'd think with that mod. And boy, howdy, those buster cards slap. As Robin said, it was Robin, BBNP, very strong. So, build-wise, I would say Caenis is a pretty straightforward crit lancer. You use the NP to sweep up the ads, generate critical stars because it is buster, so you'll do some of that. And then you turn that into critical hits on your next turn with busters. You've got a 50% crit up for 3 turns. Hypothetically, especially with the buster support that is coming out in the future, you may be able to use the fact that her NP plus buff or NP damage up lasts 3 turns to do some serious damage escalation to keep coming back for more. And her 1 defense skill is top-notch. Damage cut is one of the best defensive buffs there is because very few things get through it. Like, Pierce Invul doesn't do anything to it. You need Ignore Defense, which is fairly uncommon. And there is a Guts on top of it, so, Caenis will take some hits. At the same time, I will say the kit feels a little rough, a little loose. Even post-interlude, like, the interlude shores up a lot of the defense. It guarantees you star generation. It gives you a battery to get you started. I would say, since it is an AoE buster and those are the lowest damage multipliers by default, I think Caenis probably still needs an NP interlude and rank up, maybe to increase some of those performance numbers to be even more stupid, or at the very least, give Caenis another, friggin' NP level for free, basically, especially since Caenis is story-locked. But that's just me talking, I've been playing this game a long time and following this fandom for a while, so, it's a thought. Still, Caenis, very effective. And, yeah, okay. So that's all my show notes. Let's switch back to the title card. Before we do, question sesh. Oh, I see somebody rolled on air. That means you get crazy good stuff. Remember, you got to roll on air. That's when weird things happen. Sorry, I'm clearing out the Discord backlog, because we will be doing questions soon from the chat. But I got a couple of pieces of the business to come out with. Let me just hide window capture so I can close that extra window, because we're going off script. Yep. Bryn for Crit Absorb is also another good one. Remember your synergy, team. Always synergize. And sometimes your attackers are actually your synergizers. FGO is weird. There's a lot of complexity because there's, like... Actually, that is a good question. With the sisters, how many frickin' units are there? What's the servant count? I'm looking it up. Oh, right. Phantom Wiki doesn't have a really good list for this. It says 333, but that might be out of date? I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a fuck ton of units, so there's a lot of variety you can do to get out there. But before we move on to take a few, we take questions from the chat for a little bit until I start to feel sleepy or something. I want to just, give everybody the updates on the shilling. As you know, I am here alone, and I would be remiss if I did not execute the shill tactic. So, we have 4 Patreon polls this month. I'm trying to, like I said, beef up those Patreon awards. Support us on Patreon at 5 and up level, and you can get access to polls. Those polls will run for a few more days, so we've got some options. First of all, I released the monthly topic poll because Teach Me is coming back. That's right, we've got 2 Teach Me topics at least as a result of the Olympus rundown. So there's a few things to go on there. Our current polls are, what are the ultimate ones? As that is a question that may be related to future story stuff that you may want to know about. And also, what is the plot of Extella / what's the White Titan? What is the White Titan? That might be relevant. So yeah, Teach Me's coming back. If you're a 5 and up patron, you can vote. Currently, Ultimate Ones has a very slight lead. We've only got 16 votes. I do believe that means that some patrons who qualify can still vote, so consider it. And as I said, it's really close. If you want to shake that up or you want to widen that gap, you can support us on Patreon. Low rates. Get a 10%. Actually, it's 11%. I can say that straight up. It's an 11% discount if you support for a year as well. And then after a little bit of... No one asks, how's the White Titan? That's correct. That's very correct. I only ask that to myself later. But it took me a couple extra days to work this out. But in celebration of Learning with Manga collab, Fanservant Friday will be returning this month as well. And our theme is writers from relatively modern history. So I had some writers lying around. I slurped up some options. So your choices are Ferdinand von Zeppelin, George Washington, Jacques Cousteau, who has no votes, by the way, so sad, and Maria Otkabryska, all writers. We've only got 12 votes on that, and you got about a week left. Well, that's what the question is, why? So, as you can see, there are like 4 more votes in the Teach Me poll, so if you haven't voted in that one as well, you can get your blops in. Lucky, as always, will be our tiebreaker whenever he is available. But yeah, so there's some wiggle room in there. Currently, George Washington is winning with about half the votes, but Ferdinand von Zeppelin is slurping up right behind him. I think Maria has only like 1 vote, and Jacques has 0. Isn't it sad, Jacques? Also, this might be a weird one for me to bring up on a Let's Like FGO live special thing that like 40 people are watching. But hey, you may have noticed, speaking of streaming, that usually once a week I get together with the Goop Troop, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Brain Trust, and we do a little live stream for many hours called Fail Portrayal, where we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards as basically a continuous multi-hour shitpost. And then occasionally, like, me or Axe will talk about the mechanics of the cards. Actually, that's not true. Your even bets on if people talk about the actual rules is Axe will ask what a card does to move us along, or Dallas will speak at length about how a deck works, because Dallas is my jank master. But we do Fail Portrayal, like, a whole bunch. We do it, like, every week, and you guys don't know this, not seeing it, but in the secret Yu-Gi-Oh! Zone, the Goop Troop area, the Fool Zone, to quote Hard Leg Joe, when we talk about what to do for Fail Portrayal, we're awful at this. We are such bad pickers. There's like 8 of us in the squad. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. So we decided, or I decided, and the others said it sounded fine, and actually thought it was a good idea, I should say, that is also a poll. It's now a Patreon poll. 1 show a month will be pulled out for Fail Portrayal, and you guys can vote on what we do. This is actually, I think, the one time on Patreon I've run a multi-option poll, so you can vote for as many as you like. It's not limited to 1 vote per person. So just pick all the archetypes you want to see. And it's a really fun time, and if you exist in that weird, whatchamacallit, I don't know, Axe, have you been watching Prog lately? We're very goopy. Got another goop week coming up, probably. Anyway, but if you are part of the significant Venn diagram of our audience who also enjoys Yu-Gi-Oh!, or at the very least you like listening to us make weird references and yell about card art, which you don't really have to be into Yu-Gi-Oh! To follow. Hell, we did an episode on Magic the Gathering as kind of a joke / a celebration of Dallas's birthday earlier this week, and you guys turned out quite a lot for that. So anyway, there's a Fail Portrayal poll. It's once again the same as our other patron polls, except for that multi-vote thing. If you're 5 and up, you can vote. That's the backing level, by the way, not the age level. Technically, so long as you have a credit card that works, you can vote. I don't know if Patreon age checks you, but we're not like 18 plus or anything. The options are Sidra, Cyber Dragons, Koakimeru, Core Chimera, Magical Musketeer, Mecha Phantom Beasts, Trap Tricks, and UA Ultimate Athletes, which, by the way, is currently winning. UA has like 6, and everybody else has like 3. We've got like 16 votes, so you guys are pretty jazzed up about this. But again, if you want to shake or break this up, you know, it's a very tight race. Only a few votes would shake it up for a few of these archetypes. You can still influence this one, and I let this one run a little bit longer so we'd have plenty of time to pick it. But yeah, that's been your State of the Patreon update. I hope you guys are happy for that. And then, let's see. We've been going for just over an hour, so I think I've filled that out enough. We got like 47 people watching, I think-ish. So now, in place of the mailbag, we'll now do, I don't know, like a town hall meeting? Something? Anyway, I'm going to take questions from chat. So, as I said before, if you are a patron already, once again, patron Chillin, and you can access #Patreon chat. If you've got any questions you want to throw up in the patron chat, like I said, I will give you guys prio. Not that I necessarily want to encourage you, I'll give people who super chat prio as well, but patrons are already paying me. So if you've got anything you want to throw out in Discord, go ahead. Otherwise, you guys can just fire off, you know, in chat. Just know that I will show favoritism to people who pay me money. Will we get a Requiem Teach Me? I don't know if it'll be a proper Teach Me, but definitely probably before that that event comes out, maybe when we do the pregame, we should probably try and discuss what we know about Requiem. Here's the problem. Requiem's a light novel series. Only 2 volumes of which have been published. It's still ongoing. It's not, like, complete by any means. And also it's not localized, because fuck us, right? So I can explain to you some of what Type Moon Wiki tells me Requiem is about, and like I can like Google the internet and stuff. But I don't think there's enough depth for a proper teach me. I just am not familiar enough with the sources, you know, and I don't know if there's enough out there to do. But we can definitely bring it up and discuss a little bit of the plot elements. I'm very curious how NA is gonna handle it. I mean, I'd love if they just announced they're gonna bring over the fucking light novels to like help out the FGO audience, but we'll see. All right. Some lunatic asked how lucky Scooter is. I tell that lunatic, how the fuck should I know? Crawl back into your sewer goblin. Go eat a cucumber, you kappa. And then also, had you gotten Tomo in a previous banner, who would you have gotten off the SSR ticket, or who would I pick second? That I can be reasonably sure of. I'm fairly certain it would be Jinako. Honestly, I was thinking it would probably be Jinako before, but the fact that Tomo has eluded me for almost literally 5 years, it's like 4.5 if you count up the time she premiered at, like, Halloween? And then I think she was permanent with London Singularity or Christmas, one of those two. But, like, given the time gap there that it's been and the fact that I still don't got her, yeah, we got to go for Tomo. But I still don't have Jinako, so that would definitely be up there on my choices. I think that would be my second pick. Well, I don't have any new questions in Patreon chat as well. Somebody in the live chat asked which Lost Belt made you cry the most. Well, we'll go with the emotion of crying, as I've... Tauba no want to show up. Yes, correct. I've talked about this. I don't really, like... actually bust into tears much anymore. I was a big crybaby as a child. Big sobbing berserker tears. Absolute wreck. And at some point in my teenage years, I decided to not cry. So I don't know what it is, but I've definitely assembled some kind of mental blockade where I don't physically shed tears a lot anymore. That doesn't mean that I still don't feel like crying a lot sometimes. Which one hit me the hardest? Which one made me feel like I was going to bust into tears? Sorry, somebody's asking about spoiler questions as well. Well, yeah, I don't really get angry. It's more like I get the, like, welling of tears and the crumpling tin can of my heart sensation in my chest. I just don't actually, like, burst into tears. That's what sadness feels like. Oh, I think it's gotta be Lost Belt 5, I think. Part 2 specifically. Like, I'm trying to think if it would be parts of, like, LB2, but no, it's 5 so far. There's a lot of emotional hitters in there. If you don't know what those emotional hitters were, go listen to last week's monstrosity of a live show. Okay, got another one from Patron Chat. What servant? Sorry, I want to keep your grammar intact. Of the ones to come out this year, are you most looking forward to? So let me pull up a list. Let me actually pull up a little humdinger of a list. Check out those events for what's coming up in this year. So give me a second to fire up the juice. On the subject of spoiler questions, chat, if I just, like, activate the spoiler shield for Olympus, are you guys okay with that? Like, if I, you know, let me know in chat if you feel okay with that. I'll leave it up to you guys, because I'm done, but I don't know if other people listening are done, so, you know. I don't want to bum out anybody in the live chat while we're doing a special weird live show live thing. Okay, so let's see what we got. God, I forgot how dead this year is for a long time. Oh, and we get the swimsuit AoE banner. God, that's weird. I'm a dum 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 dum. What am I most looking forward to? mean, I'm skimming, I'm running through. I'm going to say I feel pretty secure. Well, actually, no, that's technically next year, so I'm not going to say Muramasa. That's not until 2023. God, that freaks me out saying that. Oh, gosh, I'm getting, like, internal service errors checking on the wiki. I can't look at the summer servants right now. Shoot, who is it then? It might be Castoria. Okay, seems like nobody is yelling, no, how dare! See, we even got one person who's like, I haven't finished everyone effects. Okay, so, spoiler questions, okay. Yeah, I'm going to say Castoria for now, because I can't check Summer. But Summers are cool, but they're not going to break me. Ibuki's pretty cool. I think she's up there on my list. The problem is that Ibuki comes in a very dangerous time. You know, Vishra's there as well, which is another interesting one for me. And Muramasa's right around the corner, and that's like, I'm going to die for that one. Yeah, hopefully I can get as lucky with the Castoria conspiracy as I did with the Da Vinci, because I'll enjoy that funny thing. I'll enjoy Arts reigning supreme until the next anniversary. Then Koyanskaya comes back, and then shortly after Oberon, people are like, Buster, Buster, Buster. Buster Cats, ho! What is my ideal 2030 crit meme team? I do have a lot of 2030s. Gosh, I don't even know. What's my dumb crit? I mean, it would probably involve somebody with Super Orion, just because of how self-sustaining and freakish he is with his criticals. I don't get the benefits if I just do Super Orion and, like, 2 Georges. I don't know. I've never really played around with 2030 in that way. So, yeah. I don't know. Okay. Chat seems to have slowed down a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. We've been going for about an hour, almost an hour 15. I'm going to take a quick break and step away. I'll throw up the standby screen and mute myself. If you got any more questions, fire them off for me, and I'll just be right back. So hang on a sec, kids. Okay, pivoting back. Yes, you're asking how we feel about locating Mr. Fuckboy. Hey, I mean, listen, I've talked about this before in the spoiler, though obviously that thought is buried somewhere in 6 gosh darned hours. I'm kind of glad this episode's going to be a little bit of a shorter, little special time. But yeah, I'm very glad we seem to get dedicated story chapters. Like, obviously, Avalon is huge and, like, I believe is pretty freaky and mind-blowing. No spoilers in chat. But it's semi-unnecessary. Like, obviously, we have our own plot reasons for doing it. But in the overall plot arc, it's not part of taking down the alien god. It's kind of like an extra thing we have to do to get in the way. So the fact that we get a story chapter devoted to going to punch Barrel's lights in is very good. Same with, Heian Kyo later, and getting to punch Doman's lights in, so. We'll see how Barrel does in that score, but I hope to boop that Snoople myself. Going to check the patron. Oh, okay. From patron chat, what's your favorite hype moment of LB5? If we threw up the spoiler shield. Yeah, spoiler shield up. Oh, I mean, like the most like emotionally hype juice. Was definitely when you do the very final boss fight against Golden Caenis and the grand battle music starts playing. I've always been super fond of that track, and you're just like, all right, we're here, we're having a fight. But other than that, probably the whole lead up of the Zeus fight when he gets this fucking dumb Zardoz head out there, and like that's before things like take a turn for the weird. That's just all like straight confrontation, big boy fight time. So we take the fight to him. He has his own unique personal theme and a great boss theme, which I don't think we talked about. The music in Atlantis and Olympus slaps so much, guys. But it has a really sick mechanic. Romulus queerness is there, if only for a limited moment. It's a great thing. Especially when like I said, Jolter basically sold his last HP bar. Chat also asks, patron chat I should say, any people interested in having on Let's Talk or even collaborating with? I'm not entirely sure. So, I've talked about this before. We are open to guest slots. Honestly, if I knew more people and talked to them super regularly, I probably would have been like, hey, yo, get me a guest. You want to come on? But this was kind of sudden, right? So... Sorry, something funny just happened. No, Mash was pretty good. She lasted a long time. Romulus queerness is actually, like, really baller as well. He does okay, because he does all your buffs and stuff. I think it works out. I had a level 100 Space Ishtar, though, so, I had a lot of heavy lifting to do. But yeah, speaking of, like, having on or collaborating with, we're kind of open. I've said this before, and it's still true. While I am aware of, and we, like, sub, to a few... Yeah. I'm aware of FGO YouTubers and stuff. And I've done a little bit of weird collab stuff, like that one time we actually did, Among Us with some guys and gals. I don't really watch other people's content because it doesn't interest me. Because I do this show, and so, like, boss guides, future predictions, servant guides, and all that stuff... we have to do, I have to do all that stuff on my own anyway, so there's no purpose in me watching other people's videos for the most part. Just the entire show. Not really, but actually all of the show bits of the show are done. You're going to have to check out the archives. We're in the Q&A section right now. If you are a patron, which you are, spoilers, you can drop me a question in patron chat, and I'll put it at the top of the queue. Otherwise, I'm just, John with chat. But yeah, so there's nobody really in particular I'm like, damn, I'd love to have them on for a Let's Talk or something. But if you create FGO content out there, and you want to slot in for a show, we can probably find time for that, especially as we won't have any, like, ball-bustingly huge episodes for a little bit, probably until, well... unless JP explodes, but probably not until Requiem comes out will we have, like, really big, beefy episodes. Drop us a line, leave us a YouTube comment. Hit us up on Twitter. I guess you can direct message me on Discord, even though that gives me super anxiety. Not just regular anxiety, super anxiety. You could also DM Lucky on Discord as well. I think I said that... just because of it, the anxiety it gives me, I said I would have Lucky handle all future collab nonsense, but I don't remember how he felt about that, so I'm not gonna put that evil on him while he's not here. And yes, if you're curious, no, I'm not kidding. Like, actually, like, firing me a DM on Twitter or Discord, like, makes my heart explode every time, even if you're just telling me that you love the show and you want to give me a thumbs up. This is kind of why I prefer mailbag as a way to interact, because Lucky fields a lot of that stuff. Sorry, that's just how I'm wired. I have social anxiety. That's probably why we're not, like, doing super collabs, because neither Lucky or I are really extroverted, funnily enough. But yeah, shoot us a tweet. Hop in our Discord. Whatever. Drop a YouTube comment. We're open to guest slots. We probably want to be familiar with what we do, but most of the big YouTubers, like I said, I remember a lot of their names, and I do know that for the most part, I think we're one of the few like FGO podcasts out there, like actually doing internet radio stuff, long form like this, very long form, which are also our most successful episodes. So I assume there's some kind of a niche there. Like it's not like crazy big, but when we do stuff, you guys seem to like when we do long ass things. Yeah, I don't know if extroverts play gacha. I assume so. I don't know. The voice of St. Court's always seemed, pretty outgoing and out there and stuff. But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's funny dream collabs. Like, there's a lot of just general people on the internet I'd love to have on for random videos. I am constantly joking about, quote unquote, starting beef with MBT of YouTubing fame to get him to at least shit talk our progression series or whatever, our progression tournament. And just there's cool people out there, but we're kind of relaxed. I mean, I've always said this, Albert, if you're listening, we will literally murder your enemies to get you on the show as a guest for, like, an interview. Yeah, Chad just said it. Like, I would love that. I understand we don't have a huge level, but we're official YouTube partners. YouTube says it's okay to run ads on our content and to be seen with us, okay? Daddy YouTube says that, so it's fine. I think that's our, like, whatchamacallit, our like white whale. We would love to score that. Get some official Aniplex stuff. Look, he's called Aniplex on air before, and they haven't had any info for him. But I understand we're still, even though we've been doing this for like 5 years, we're still a little small. I would appreciate if you guys not necessarily rattle any cages, but if you know of anybody you think would go well with us, let them know, let us know. And just in general, like, put us out there, like the video. Like, especially like this video, like right now, because it's special and it's weird, and I don't know how many views it's gonna get. So give it a like right now. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Bob. You like this video? Share us with your friends. Throw us up on whatever Discords you hide in. Link people to this video. Yell about us on Twitter. Retweet my tweets. So just get us up there, and maybe we can actually get enough light shed on us to get some of that stuff done. That one was a little bit of a long boy field one. Somebody asked in patron chat, what fight in Lost Ball 5.2 was the hardest, and why was it Demeter? It was Demeter, actually, yeah. That's the one where I think I had to do multiple tries for team comps, and I had to spend at least one Saint Quartz. I think it was just one. Yeah, like, I'm trying to think, like, Beast of Cherishing was, like, weird, but that was all random. I actually had an easy time with Dioscuri because Super Ryan is busted. Zeus was very easy. Caenis I had to recalibrate a couple of times, and it was fine. I mean, Wodaime was a butt, but, Mash was very well buffed for that fight, so. Big meteor blocking energy. Aphrodite was hard as well, but I did not get, like, full chaos mode on that. Like, I didn't get, like, instant death or anything, so I was able to work around it a little bit with a decent team compass. Punch her into a mountain. By the way, actually, that would probably be a strong third pick for the SR ticket would be Sanzo. I still don't have a great track record with single target casters. Like, yes, I do have an NP5 Kirki, but she's not exactly offensive. You probably just sucked it up with the guts. Fujino has a great damage cut in guts, and you know what doesn't to do that? Pierce Invul. Doesn't matter. That's why I said Caenis' defense cut is great. Well, let's see. Anything else? No. It looks like we're. Yeah, you might have also buff blocked there, Pierce Invul, so it doesn't matter. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a filter down in concurrent viewers and running out of question energy. So, Yeah, I don't know. If you guys don't have any other more discussion points you want to bring up with me, I can go to wrap up. I'll give a few to filter through. Let me think about if there's anything else I want to jaw about. I mean, I can continue my shill spree in a different way. Once again, if you want to shout out to your homie Lucky, you want to really show him your support, we did start a new stream series this week. We stream on Monday, me and Lucky together. We play games for several hours. And while I was melting slightly, Lucky did start playing Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. I think I said Legend of Zelda there, but you know what I mean. So that's up on our channel. You should go check it out. Make sure to give it much love and watch it through. We played it for about 3 hours. We did not quite get to the first dungeon, but we got close to it. So, I mean, so the baseless speculation I'm hearing from people, or maybe not baseless, but several people have said that there are suggestions in the text that it's, I can only assume this is pronounced Leloy? Or like Le? I can't really do the upper V. I will post it in the chat for people. Oh, I think I burnt seals on Talus originally because he's kind of out there. Like, I've heard a lot of people say that that's suggested in the text, and they appeared as a soft saber-faced saber, gender-flipped, in the FGOX Himero's World manga and OVA we got. So it could be that. That would be like a collab-style character that would kind of pop in suddenly. You know, that's a version of Fate School Life. So it could be that. That might make sense. That I think that would be a little weird because that would be like 2 Vietnamese sabers back to back. They could always class drift and do something different, obviously, you know? But that's the thing that I know a lot of people have been saying. Other than that, I really don't have any idea because I don't know anything about the story of this. Like, all I know is that there's some weird sea cucumber people, and you can do some very funny things with them. And maybe there's some weird Deep One shit. And, like, Aresh is in the event, so that's cool. And the sisters are our first silhouette servants. I mean, I will say it does kind of look like there is somebody with another similar, like, conical hat to kind of what Saber, Leloy, or Reri is. So I could see that, and that might be a different Ascension. I don't know. Actually, no, wait, no Ascension. Because it's welfare, so that wouldn't matter, yeah. So, I don't know. That's okay, guys. I'm awful at well, I'm not awful at improv, but I'm not necessarily good at asking deep questions as well. You know, I just wanted, you know, if you had anything you were thinking about for a mailbag, give me a drop. Gosh. Redrop School Life art. I mean, there's so many versions of that, aren't there? I'd have to double-check all of them. Sorry, somebody in Patreon chat asked, Redrop School Life art actually becomes a visual novel. Which route do you pick first? I mean, I know Lucky would be picking comma routes first. All of them. I'd have to actually double-check the images and make sure I got everybody. I also just realized that because I've been streaming, I haven't checked Twitter at all, so I've got 33 new tweets. Cool. Sick. Oh, there's a funny meme I'm going to retweet. There's some Bunny Artoria art I'm going to retweet. Yes, I am just talking to you guys about what I'm looking at on Twitter. But, you know, I got like 33 tweets to catch up on, so Hold on for a second. Let me see if anything Mimi's happening. All right, I'm caught up. Oh, favorite jam from Olympus? I mean, it's got to be 9 Drive. I mean, it could happen, but hey, then that's NP2 Tomo. I mean, if going for 5 years, whatever happens, happens. Yes, the summer re-won. Blah. I've only been doing this for an hour and a half. How am I still brain melting? The summer rerun will be happening early, like a couple months early. It's because, remember, this was when the pandemic and the lockdown started. This was when we had to quarantine ourselves the first time around. So, that was very early. You know, I think it was like June as opposed to when when they usually do these. I can double check that for y'all. Yeah, the Backspear Boys reunion tour, very funny. Somebody asked earlier, do you think they will do a summer compilation event like the Halloween one? Possibly. The summer events are not necessarily connected via continuity. I think what would be much more likely would be a Gouda Gouda recap event, because those usually are. Well, I don't need to worry about getting Tomo on any GSSRs because they stopped doing permanents, so limiteds only. But yeah, I think a Gouda Gouda recap event would be much more necessary and likely. One, because, I don't know, there's like 4 freaking welfares that are out there, There have been people who've been playing this game for many years who don't have Nobu because the game in FGO is... oh, no, NA has had exclusive banners. We've had rate-ups before. But yeah, no, there's a lot of good welfares out there that we've missed. And there have been people who, like I said, have been playing FGO for many years who haven't gotten Nobu because she got a rerun like twice. And again, FGO and JP has been going on for 7 years. So that is one I think we might actually pull off this year. Again, because there's a lot of continuity, and most of them are like related, so... Yeah, we had a second banner in Okeanos that wasn't normal. We've had exclusive rate-ups before. I mean, if you want to call this one bait, but yeah. I mean, it's a legitimate Reiko rate-up, and Medea Lily and Lancer Artoria Alter. I almost said Saber Alter rate-up. I assume the conspiracy theory-ing is, like, the only thing to think about is just... Guys, in case you missed that when I said it earlier, in JP, because of COVID, this year is, like, super bland starting now. Like, there's a shitload of stuff that was basically, like, late March into April, which we're basically blowing through. May in Japan was just the Gouda Gouda rerun and the Fate Requiem collab and a pregame. June is Interlude Campaign 13 and the Vegas rerun. And then July there was actually like some hunting quests. OQ got a rerun. Seraph got added to main interlude. And then we started to pick up again like with anniversary and shit in August. Now for us, we probably get our anniversary stuff bumped up to August. And we'll be able to fill these out. But like the reason why we probably got an extra banner an extra week is just because the next, like, 3 months are so dead in JP. It's really bad. So they probably just wanted to fill out the roster a little more organically. But yes, no, I think a Gouda Gouda recap event series with an opportunity to get back, like, Nobu, Cha-Cha, etc., maybe even do some strengthenings for some of them old servants. Yeah, anniversary for us is almost always July 4th. Is AX actually coming back this year? I know a lot of conventions have been physical this year. So I could see the AX happening. So yeah, there's some stuff. They could do some summer recaps. What it seems like they do is they just like look at the Sea Monster Crisis event like right now. I think they just put summer servants on other banners. Like there's, I mean, she's in the story, but they just use this as an excuse to throw Summer Melt on a banner. Okay, but shoot, there was another thing I was gonna say before I caught that one about. Oh, yeah, right. Somebody who just got here asked me about rolling for Musashi. I talked about this earlier. I've been... Summer Nobu's gotten some weird ones. I think she's gotten some rate-ups during Gouda Gouda events. You know? Summer Martha has been on weird times. Summer Martha got a rate-up in Christmas. Again, that event didn't get rerun, so you might not remember that one if you missed it. So, yeah, they do weird stuff with Summer. Somebody asked if I was going to roll for Musashi again. I talked about this earlier, but to recap, because it's been about an hour and a half, I know some of you weren't here. There is probably going to be 30 free Saint Courts for the social media campaign, for the downloads campaign. Once again, if you haven't checked in already, go interact with that tweet or Facebook post right now. Ooh, sorry. Running out of a little talky juice. I have been talking fairly continuously for an hour and a half. Usually there are opportunities for silence to play out. Or if we're lucky to respond with me, to have real human interaction on the show, with audio and everything. But there's probably going to be 30 free Saint Courts, and then there's going to be 10 tickets. That's, 22 summons. I'm technically up on Saint Courts because I bought an 80-pack, and then I rolled on stream because everybody sent me their energy. So I got everything I wanted out of Olympus banners already. So I will probably at least do those for Musashi... And then I think I'm going to stop just because, yeah, I'm at least an 80-pack, I think, in the hole, so I don't need to go out there. Yeah, no, they're all over the place with the Summer Martha. I think it's funny because they did the Christmas thing, because they're going to actually do a Christmas Martha. But anyway, the welfare you don't hear anybody talk about. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. Yeah, anything else to chat about with you all? Let's see, I've already done my usual Shilladai routine. I mean, I already mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. You should go watch Progression Tournament this week. Stuff happens. Nice. Yeah, good luck with that one. That is always the funny thing about clairvoyance, right? Like, I always talk about this when I do Wanted, is... I will make sure to say, that such and such a servant hasn't had a rate up for, like, X number after this point. But, I will talk about getting a feeling for them coming back. Like, for instance, Romanus Quirinius doesn't have a lot of rate ups. Dioscuri, I think it's been a little bit since they've had a permanent rate up as well. But given this whole Road to 7 thing that JP is doing, I can be almost certain that those guys are probably going to get rate ups at some point this year. Some combination of them. Also, guys, I wouldn't be shocked if Arjuna Alter gets another rate-up this year, because what they're doing for Road to 7 is they're just throwing all those fucking servants into the mix, so, yeah, no. I think they're going to kill the meme. We're going to go crazy. But, yeah, chat's slowing down. I see, like I said, a handful of people have left. Probably, possibly, because of the spoiler shield. Yeah, rank ups are always interesting. I hope they do another, big block of 14th anniversary this year. I know we still got to wait several months for that, but I'm hoping for... I'm hearing rumors there will be new FP servants as well. I would love for that. Love to see that. So on and so forth. 7, we got this whole Road to 7, 7 Singularity, 7 Lost Belts. It'd be pretty cool. We get some... bust out some hops. No idea what the anniversary servant is going to be. Watch it be Rasputin. Watch us all freak the fuck out. No, actually, it's gonna be the third Koyanskaya, Chaos Koyanskaya. When you banish the light and dark Koyanskayas, you get the third one. That is a Yu-Gi-Oh joke. I mean, usually I use mine when we're low on cost, not accounting for, obviously, stuff from that. Oh, if you want me to predict Lost Belt 3 servants getting beefs. I mean, it could also be Chaos. Because it could be Twilight, but also there could be a Chaos. Because remember, we have Sacred Phoenix Nephthys, Dark Nephthys, and then Chaos Nephthys. Like, they do that a lot. Yes. Posting about Chaos gifts. Let's actually look at the Lost Belt 3 servants. I assume if we only get one rank up, it's probably going to be Zhang Yu, because I feel like he's still very underappreciated compared to Lancelot. I mean, listen, y'all know I'm always down for more Python. Give me some Python buffs. But let's see what we got. Yeah, he gets a big crit. He does do an interlude for a big crit up and a big star absorb up. That lets him actually do the funny thing like our boy can do. But I mean, he was invincible for 3 turns. That's pretty useful. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't see any obvious gaps in Zhang Yu's kit these days, because he's got after his interlude, he gets the star weight up. I don't know if they can't buff him to just give him more hit counts on his NP, and most people don't care about Scotty looping as much anymore. Let's see. Really, Mothman. It's so funny. Everybody always mentions. Actually, by the way, that also could be a funny one. It could be finally Zeus. Because I was going to talk about Lost Belt Kings. Usually when they first get data mined, people are like, Lost Belt Kings, those guys are fucking cracked. They're meta as hell. And sometimes that sticks. Scotty. Other times, it kind of wanes. Like, everybody read, I've talked about this before, everybody read Ivan's skills back when Lost Belts were first coming out and was like, this servant is busted. This isn't... How can this be okay? And then people were like, oh, yeah, right, he's an AoE Buster Rider. We've had those for literal years. His skills are cool, but that doesn't actually, like, do anything. I mean, I will say, I deeply appreciate my Mothman, because he sauntered out of the wilderness to surprise me while I was rolling for Python. I will say that he does not necessarily, like, that is probably the only thing he's missing to be truly solo capable, which is what I think his kit wants to be. He has like 1 arts card, and it does have 5 hits, but it doesn't come up a lot, so I would say maybe buffing his 3rd skill so he gets stars per turn wouldn't be amiss. Obviously you can just give him something like a fragments as well. But it is kind of something I think that is a little weird from his kit. Like, he does have the crit buff, and he does have the star absorb, but he doesn't necessarily generate stars the best on his own. That would round him out a little bit. Because, like, let's see. 20% defense down for 3 turns. A charge down on all enemies is pretty good. 70% stun, and then an attack up for 3 turns. Yeah, like, honestly, all of his skills are fine. I just think that is the only thing that his kit doesn't do on his own. And by design, he does kind of feel like a solo guy. Like, he wants to kind of do what Super Orion does, but he is not quite that crazy. That is certainly what people were meaning about him the first run through. And obviously you got, Yume Ren, Yu Python. I still personally think that Python needs an NP buff to get her multiplier up. But her upping her buff removal resistance for extra turns is still pretty good. When the fuck is that coming out? It's a rank up quest. When the fuck is that campaign? Tell me. Tell me now. Tell me now, Internet. Yeah, he's pretty good at CQs, but it's definitely a little bit of a weird one. That would make sense for it being summer, because that's when her summer version comes out. That's going to be very funny. Right, here we are. Strengthen. And it's part of Servant Strengthening Part 12. Ah, it is in August. That's for anniversary. Okay, cool. Neato. That is... I mean, yeah, that'll be before summer. Yeah, okay. Rad. Right, I remember. This is the busted-ass one. Right. What the fuck does Reiko get buffed? Reiko, which buff is this one? Is it your NP buff? Yes, okay, that's your NP increase. But yeah, that's the one that ends with the 4 Fate Stay Night guys getting stupid, crazy good, stupid buffs of stupidness. But yeah, like I said, I personally, like, just because NP interludes exist, I would love every vanilla Buster AoE to please get an NP interlude, because it really helps. But anyway, yeah, probably one of the 5 stars is the goal there. It's gonna be Mothman or it's gonna be Zhang Yu. I'm not even sure what Zhang Yu needs in a buff, but I know that he is a underutilized unit because he's not as cool as Lancelot. Yeah, I don't really think Asclepius needs a buff, so I'd like it, though. The Doctor was very helpful in Olympus. Yeah, Asclepius is great. Yeah, I think a couple of Gills could probably use a little bit of rounding, just because he's got a fairly vanilla skill kit. Gil's been through a couple of things, but I don't... Having both a battery and his just vanilla golden rule is weird. Have they been buffing golden rules, by the way? Let me know. Have they been buffing golden rules? Because if they have, that might be good. Vanilla Golden Rule definitely feels like something they could have futzed with. It seems like they're working on Vanilla Imperial Privilege as well. I mean, people probably want a Gajina buff in 4. Right, they buffed Tesla twice because he wasn't cool enough. But yeah, so for Lost Belt 3, I can speculate those. For 4, I know a lot of people want a Gajuna buff. Yeah, Vanilla Golden Rules, not the best. We could definitely use some of those. Robin would probably appreciate it. Hot Wheels, yeah. Ashvathaman, that could probably be a good one. Let me look at Ash's kit. I've got him at, like, NP2. I don't use him a lot because I've got a fuck ton of ST Archers. Archers is so cracked. I have a bridge. I have Fujino. So, but... Ashvathaman. My reputation for collecting the servants of my enemies still stands strong. 30% NP and an invul for 1 turn. Solid. Buster and defense down with Buster cards for 3 turns. 3 attacks, 5 turns, actually. No, that's pretty good. Quick arts. Yeah, his skill set seems okay. I don't think anything is wrong with that. Where the fuck is your NP, buddy? Where'd it go? Oh, it's fucking... The wiki's busted. It doesn't list his NP. I'll check his stats out later. Ah, so Drake's Golden Rule did get. Yeah, I have Sigurd. I have an NP2 Anastasia and NP1 Sigurd. I have, like, NP1 or 2 Ashvathaman. And I do have at least NP1 Prince of Landling. I also have Pycen herself. It's hilarious. And I managed to score NP2 Dioscuri and the NP1 Caenis. So we're doing pretty good on that front. I'm also... everybody on Grands. I mean, I feel like Lakshmi's not super well utilized because her kit's very weird and defensive. Lakshmi. Lakshmi Bai, because Lakshmi Bai had the unfortunate nature to come out in the height of the Scotty conspiracy and have only a 4-hit quick NP. Though obviously its main purpose is to soften other people up because it removes their offensive buffs. Let's see, she's got a guts and a buff success rate. That's okay. Which is good because she's got her own chance-based shit. Right, she has a shitload of chance-based stuff. No wonder she's not super popular. You need to, like, level up her third skill all the way. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe some, like, inherent buff improvement on her. I mean, all of her skills do something anyway. Like, her charisma definitely does their attack up, but also might do star rate and crit up. Her invul definitely works, but might do damage cut and HP regen. She definitely gets a guts and the buff success. Might do some other funny stuff there and though. I mean, Casgill has such a crazy high with like his star gen buff is so ludicrous. It doesn't matter that his NP gain is borked because just have him do arts crits and you'll be fine. Yeah, I think Golden Rule should probably get some buffs. Yeah, Christmas is probably not going to go out there. They definitely need to do something to Assassin Emiya, right? Like, maybe this anniversary, they'll finally unfuck his Magecraft skill so he can actually, like, kill casters. Make it Mage Killer, give him even more arts up. And give him reverse class advantage. Let him get class advantage on casters for an assassin. That would give him a funny niche. I would definitely say, looking at her NP for Lakshmi Bai, I'd love if she also did maybe like a charge down, you know, like maybe 60% or 80%, chance of reducing all enemies charged by 1, or NP seal maybe on the enemy squad. That'd probably round out her defensive skill kit. Other than that, her kit is kind of strange. She's a support saber for sure. Well, yeah, they went back and buffed old Liz's. We could do some Christmas flashbacks. That might be a good way for them to get the Christmas welfares that aren't repeated. Like, there's been no rerun for Santa Carna. There's been no rerun for Santa Quits. Could be a way to get him back. Maybe. I don't think there's a... Actually, let me double check. Will. It's been a little bit since I used him. William Tell. Yeah, okay. So he doesn't have a skill to represent his second arrow. So I think he's got some upgrade room. I don't think he necessarily needs it. He's got a pretty good kit. Is there anybody in 4 who really needs it? I think most of the 4 servants, other than Lakshmi, maybe are pretty okay. And then for 5, it really depends on if they do them apart. 'Cause like if they do them separately, probably a Europa buff, I would assume. I feel like she's still kind of lackluster in the sea of too many fucking AoE writers. But considering I talked about it earlier, I would definitely love Oh, yeah, Jinako. She's, I mean, she appeared before, but she's technically, it's from that time period. Yeah, we could do that. That could be a thing. Where's Jinako's NP gain stats? Oh, yeah, right, because she's got 3 arts cards. It's 0.35. Yeah, that's awful. Though she does have a 20% charge starter, and also has that AoE NP gain stuff. And she has a taunt, so... I mean, we could increase that 20% battery to, like, 30 or 40 or 50%? I don't know. Oh. I mean, Kazgil being AoE, he could probably use a battery. That would not be necessarily in there. I mean, if you want us to speculate on who gets crazy buffs during Anniversary, that's literally open season. There's quite a few out there. We also need some animation updates, I think, still. Abby is still a little lackluster. She probably needs some extra juice. Oh, it's because Abby's NP gain is low because she's got 6 count arts cards. It's shocking to me. It really took Delightworks, like, quite a long time before they figured out how NP gain and cards works. Like, there was a real resistance to letting you fire NP literally all the time, and now with the fact that, like, between Koyanskaya, the 2 Koyanskayas arguably, but especially Koyanskaya of Light, Castoria, Scotty, like, looping has become not necessarily the norm, but like a legitimate strategy. And even if you don't need to loop, there's definitely a strong expectation that servants will be firing their NP a lot. Like, I think somebody brought up that, like, nearly every new servant to come out over the past, like, year or two has had, like, a battery, like, at least 20% battery. I just talked about how Caenis will get a buff to have 20% battery. It's very funny how they've, like, actually realized, like, oh, wait, no, this is kind of, like, one of the defining features of the kit. And it's almost like there's a monetary investment in multiple NP levels, so they should be good, and people might appreciate them. So much so they even buffed Scotty's friggin' NP. But yeah, I think there's a lot of wild speculation out there. Any other wild speculation you guys want me to do? Otherwise, I'll probably faff around until, like, after we cross the 2-hour mark, and then we'll get on out of here. I won't keep you up to anymore. I gotta go, you know. Yeah, writer Mordred had crazy good Lupin. Sonic Blade, I think you've got it right. They probably felt like Noble Phantasming should be like an ultimate attack. That's why certain batteries were pretty rare. Servants who had like self-charging NPs, like Artoria, Saber, and Mordred have like that 20% refund on their Buster NPs. Ooh, like it was supposed to be special, and then the fact that fucking Waver got 50% battery and people realized, wait, double Waver, 100%. K-Scope was in the game since the start. Like, the player base just went like, wait, this is the best damage. Optimize. Yeah, and then, yeah, Super Orion is just like, I don't need my NP to do 300k damage. Just give me the buffs. Just go crazy. God, I love doing so much damage with Muscle Man. It's so funny. It's hilarious to me. Remember the old days, guys? Remember fighting for literally 100 turns with, Mash, Tamamo, and Jolter because there was literally no way to get ahead on offense. The good times. I'm kidding, by the way. I actually am quite happy we can finish fights in. Even if I don't like necessarily obsession with 3-turning everything. Oh yeah, somebody asked earlier about making Bond CEs permanent. That's the thing I think I forgot. Lucky and I have talked about that, especially with the now that the way append skills work, like, I think that could actually be, like, because if you guys recall, some of you might not, because I think a decent chunk of our audience are only NA players, but JP didn't originally have Bond CEs. That was a later addition that they slowly started rolling out. Like, Servants originally went Bond 1 to 5, and then they realized that was way too easy to do, so they expanded it so you get the extra stuff back, and they made that mechanic, obviously, with Temple of Time. But they introduced the CEs later. This is why a lot of Bond CEs are just nonsense. They had to shit out a whole lot of them very rapidly, so they're kind of uninspired, unfortunately. With the fact that append skills have a similar purpose, I definitely think, especially because the fact that Bond CEs have no stats, that could absolutely be a thing, whether they want to tie it to, like, servant coins or, like, Bond Grail levels or something. because I actually occasionally talk about this on Wanted. Some servants have stupid good bond CEs. Like, honestly, Herc's already fucking broken, but imagine if you just didn't have to waste Herc's NP slot on giving him 3 guts. What if you could give him, like, necromancy, so maybe he guts is anyway, or you could get your 3 guts and get, like, a volume and hydrogyrum on him for 3 hits of invul. Like, that's pretty fucking stupid. But I think probably the better thing to do is they need to just overhaul the stat line, like somebody said, make it, like, proportional to the servant, or make it proportional to 4 stars flat. I don't know. But given the way append skills work, they definitely could make them permanent. I wonder if they would revamp them. Obviously, you can't go... good luck with that, Pokemon. Feel better. Obviously, I don't think you can go 2-ham on Bond because I don't think you want the return on the Bond 11 through 15 levels to be too good because that's free Saint Quartz and, like, that fucks with your economy. But at the same time, right, like... well, Necromancy is chance-based, so I think Guts is your guaranteed always proc first. And then you start proccing Necromancy Guts. Necromancy OP, by the way. But, yeah, there's definitely, I think, other than remaining animation updates and stuff, now that there's actually a pity system, right? Like, now that we've done that thing, oh, they'll probably do something with servant coins, yeah. They'll probably make them easier to get. They'll make them more frequent. They usually do that with new mechanics. Like, they start out kind of stingy or kind of weird. We just talked about how Bond CEs weren't even all rolled out at once for non-NA. Like, in JP, they were gradually released. NA had the client updated already, so you were able to skip the line a little. They will almost assuredly keep improving coins. But what I was going to say is, I feel like now that we have an actual literal pity mechanic... even if it's not the best one, it still exists. Yeah, USOs and Bond CEs are, like, the one weird big gap left in the game. Like, and I don't know if they mean the pity system to just fucking get around the USOs being weird anyway. But they should probably do something about USOs to make them a little more efficient. And I know Bond CEs are kind of a sticking point because, like I said, some of them are really fucking good. They're stupid good. Others just don't work. And quite often, especially with the way some of the story content gets, the bonus stats are really like... whatchamacallit? They're because they're weak, the actual bonus stats can be very important. Obviously, you can go to, like, super giga grails, you know, you can grail to 120 now. That makes your stats, like, stupid high, absolute bonkers levels. But, you know, those are expensive. So, like, the actual, like, coins required and grails required to go, and the EXPs to go to that level are crazy good. I would also appreciate if maybe sometime this year FGO, like, stopped handing out 4-star EXPs and just went straight to 5 stars for everything. Just because, as we said, the EXP gap on, like, those extra 120 levels is absolutely ludicrous, monstrous, terrifying. But I feel like they will probably, you know, weren't those systems introduced last? Yeah, that was Annie 6. I suspect they will probably start refining those systems just because that is how FGO usually works. And given that so far Lasengle has been very straightforward, right? Like, they've been including newer mats and lotteries, all that other stuff. They may actually be trying to drive towards hitting some fan favorites because they've got to kind of stand on their own as a game company. And Aniplex has expectations. But yeah, you know, Bond CEs are a big one. I expect we'll probably see something out of that this year. If you could figure out some way to just, like, make it a toggle to, like, enable in their profile, that'd probably be fine. Let's see. What else was I talking about? There was USOs. That. The EXP cards are pretty good. Yeah, that would be another interesting one, letting you use more EXP cards because you need so many. But usually we refine systems. We've been a lot more up there, so... Yeah, if they could... I don't know if that would fuck with the UI, but being able to use more than 20 XPs at a time. Like, honestly, I don't think there's any reason why you should need to, like, have a limit to how many EXPs you can use, other than that maybe the engine wasn't designed for it. That said, like I said, I really think that I know 6 was pretty good. I don't think it was as big as 5. They were planning on doing a really big thing, and then they had to scale back because of COVID. I expect this year's anniversary for FGO, especially with LaSingle kind of standing on their own, going to be a big deal. They're probably going to hit some big ones. I don't know if that's like big servants, if that's, you know, big updates. I think they're going to bust out some stops, though. They're going to pull out some stops. But all right, I feel like I lost a couple of points in there somewhere, but, you know, that's how it is when you get rambly. Skill cookies could use an amp. Can we get a skill cookie drop CE? That's one of the things I was definitely thinking about. Was another update that's been very good this year. The advanced quests for the drop rate CEs. If we can get a version of that for skill cookies, that would be cool. But just in general, drop manipulation is another really interesting mechanic they've just started doing this year that they are continuing. So I know everybody's hoping for proofs next. I suspect it will be either proofs or seeds. Proof seems slightly more likely. I think they know about that meme. Oh, is it 25 million is the next one? Yeah. That's pretty big as well. So yeah, I think we're going to get some interesting preview stuff out of JP. They seem to be slow rolling a little bit. They're given a lot of space. You know, this Sea Monster Crisis is pretty long running. Got a lot of space out there, so we'll see what we do. Better eggs. Well, we'll see if they ever go for gold drops. We'll be here until the year 25 before they get through all the gold maths. Call me when they get the stake CE. But yes, as I was saying, we're a little over. You know, we're just about to hit 7 minutes past the 2-hour mark. I've enjoyed rambling with you all. I enjoy these speculations. I'm sure Lucky would love to be here to yell about this stuff with you. Hopefully, if you've got any of that stuff, we can have a scheduled mailbag, so you can make sure to yell at him about these things later. If you got any last-minute comments or questions or anything you want to get out, go ahead and fire them off in the chat. Otherwise, leave them in the comments later, and I'll let you guys filter out some stuff. And then we'll probably do, you know, the usual outro spiel, and I'll let you guys get on out of here. I know it's been shorter, but, you know, it was live. It's special. I'm hoping we can come back for What's Up tomorrow. I hope Lucky will be all right with that one. If he's not, I have some of my own ideas. Hopefully I'll be able to plan accordingly around them. Oh, you really want me to read this out loud, Legendary? I mean, well, you know, you give me money, so. Bond CEs are permanent passive effect, but then equipping doubles the effect. I mean, within reason, well, it's more lore accurate. I don't know if Herc needs 6 guts. That would be funny. He might actually be able to get to 9 lives that way. Or 12 labors, you know? 12 stacks of guts. It's possible. Oh, you mean a better egg node. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very interested to see if they do more with nodes. I know there's some drop rate issues. They'd have to come up with some new reason for a guy to drop eggs. But yeah, no, I like the intention for, like, not breaking the system we've already got for Bond CEs. I just don't know if for some of the more abstract CEs that works. New fucking shell node. Is this a sequel to Oops All Omega? Kind of. But this isn't really more of an oops. This is kind of a, like, you know, it's a special. It's a news. I've done that before. But yes, we should hopefully be there for What's Up, because I really want to yell about Tokyo Ghostwire. I'm going to go play some of it after this. I got other shit to yell about, but yeah, Ghostwire's up there. As I've been systematically hunting yokai. hold on. I have to read this in a dramatic voice. The year is 2525. Fate's Grand Order is on part 27. The Tsukihime collab was just announced. There are now 254 Gura Gura NPCs waiting to become servants. Truly, the worst future. The darkest timeline. Okay, I think we're getting into the goop zone. And if you don't know what the goop zone is like, please go listen to some progs or some fail portrayals. We get... Ugh. And still no Sudoi. Damn, why you gotta do me like that? Hey, if those rumors about new FP servants are true, I'm hoping for that Siduri slam. Give me that Casta. Give me that Casta slot. I mean, if they wanted to do a new round of silvers, that would be great. But okay. I feel like, you know, other than you guys yelling about me at whatever, I cannot speak to whether or not Lucky exists inside the goop zone. You'll have to ask him. But other than you guys yelling at me about notes you want better drop rates on, I think we're running out of steam here. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. Get your last chance live comments. Yell at YouTube. Hello YouTube, as they say. Even though I know you're on YouTube, it's a joke. Make sure to watch Skyward Sword more. If you need to see, like, if you want to hit 5 hours of me and Lucky, or at least 3 hours of me and Lucky, because, like, Lucky's not here right now. But, you know, you need extra mileage out of us, go watch the Skyward Sword one. It's right there. Maybe I'll put it in the end card for this one as well, because I referenced it so many times. Go check it out. Have fun if you weren't there already. Or watch it again. It's been like 5 days. But we've crossed the 2-hour mark. You know, we've had... Oh, gosh. You want me to pick my favorite? It's so hard. There's so many of them. They're really good. Reminds me, I'll have to come up with, for our anniversary, I'll have to come up with more stupid fake patron names. We kind of missed it for April Fools, but, you know, we had a lot of crazy ones last time I did that gaggerino. It didn't really work for last show because I didn't show the patron credits because it was live. But don't worry, patrons get credits in every normal video. Where was I? Doing the outro. Right, outro. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube and you still haven't given it a like, give it a like. It feeds the algorithm. It circulates us to people we know. The more views and likes we get, the more likely it is we can interview Albert. I'm not even kidding. Just go for it. Go for it right now. If you have any comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below. We love reading your comments, unless they're stupid. And even then, sometimes we find them funny. Drop it in the comment section. Actually reminds me, this is something I did want to shout out. Somebody left a comment last time. I did know that, because I talked about the Tsukihime anime, I did know that Type Moon also doesn't talk about that. I did not know that was because of business-related things. Apparently, TM got boned pretty hard on the payout for that. They didn't really have a lot of creative control and did not see a lot of the profits. So, hold on. Lucky's typing in Patreon chat. Is he going to, like, slam in for a late show? Or is he just going to post chaos memes? I don't know. Lucky, sorry. Okay, Lucky said he's sorry he's not available. Shout out to Lucky. Tell him he doesn't have to be sorry in the YouTube chat. If you're in the Patreon chat, you can also tell him it's okay. But, I wanna get the good vibes. Also, make sure to leave plenty of good vibes on Mailbag next week. But yeah, like I said, Type Moon didn't have a lot of creative control and didn't get a lot of money out of the Tsukihime thing, which is not something I knew. So, that is why they don't like to talk about it. That's kind of part of the general meme that, like, the Tsukihime anime doesn't exist. So, yeah. That was an interesting fact I did not know about. Leave more interesting facts in the comments below. Obviously, if you're watching this live, you can comment now. You can also join our Discord. Link should be in the description and on our channel page. Oh my god, that's an adorable bunny petting gif. That's great. Join our Discord. You can post gifs and confuse me on my second monitor. But link in the description of video channel as always. We have a dedicated roll thread. All kinds of funny stuff going on, so it's pretty radical. Check it out. If you are new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to get more of this. Trust me, this show usually has a co-host, so there's usually like 50% more show juice. It's not just me being a rambling idiot and fucking up my words. Sometimes I have another guy here to fuck up words with me. Do you think if you say fuck too much, is that why? We could be on our best behavior. Sponsors, we can stop cussing if you want us to. But yeah, subscribe to us to get more of this. We also have other podcasts and stuff. Like I said, I hope we can accomplish a What's Up Tomorrow live. If not, I'll come up with something as well. I also really hope we can game on Sunday because it's been like 2 weeks, but that's not related. So, slam-a-jamma your subs. Ring that bell for notifications so you always know we post a new video or when we stream. Like perhaps if I have a weird surprise stream on a Friday night that wasn't announced. Hit the bell. You get to know what's happening. It's cool. Check it out. Also, consider joining our channel memberships. Thanks, Boss Hunter. Thank you. I tried to keep the energy, and I made sure to try and keep engaged with chat. Sometimes a little too engaged. I'm glad I am recording audio of this so I can edit out all those awkward silences while I stop to read, and chat just makes me think, and I just have to sit here and stroke my beard. But yes, you can join our channel membership, get access to membership badges and emotes, which you can display both in the live chat and in the comments. It's super cool, and they're rad. Somebody will probably start posting emotes shortly whenever I start mentioning this concept. Oh, the notification was late? That's terrible. Maybe it was synced to the start time I set. I know I started this early. Even so, if your notifications are set to all, YouTube should probably give you the heads up. Anyway, memberships. Cool. Check it out. Support us. You can also support us on Patreon, like I said at the front of the show. You can get access to episodes in audio format, early usually, for as little as $1 a month, or approximately $10 a year. And yes, there is an audio download of this. It's just a little MP3. It's got funny metadata. You can download it and listen to it anytime on the go. Check it out. At any Patreon level, you can also access the Patreon chat in our Discord. Higher levels, you can vote in polls like those Teach Me Omega Senseis I told you about. Vote. Damn it. You have a responsibility. At least that's what Schoolhouse Rock taught me. Yes, we have a special membership now on YouTube as well. Supporting us on Patreon, you can do that. We record the show, Let's Talk FGO, live for patrons every week at the 10 and up level, at the gold tier or higher. They can access our recording channel. So if you've enjoyed this kind of live interaction-y stuff, me and Lucky, like I said, usually do this for our higher level patrons all the time. You can get on-air shoutouts, all kinds of fun stuff. Like I said, really supports us, helps us out. And I am trying to do a little bit of a push for the Patreon, because that is where a big blob of our money comes from, and I would like to get those rookie numbers up. I'd like to get a little more juice out of that. Because, I want to actually, go further and become even more beyond and not have to start taking part-time jobs to get extra casholas. So consider it. If you think we're worth your time, consider paying us what we're worth, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, okay, that's my usual outro show. Hopefully, like I said, see you tomorrow for What's Up. If not, you can always go back and check out last week's episode. Played some Tokyo Ghostwire. Check us out on the Monday stream. We have not talked about fairies or nature spirits. We're going to have to wait for that one until Avalon comes out. I am not getting out in front of a massive lore bomb like that. Sorry. That's why I've kind of been waiting on some of the stuff for Olympus to come out. So, I don't want to put my foot in lore. Or put my foot in spoilers, as often happens. Hey, thank you so much. I love that you love our vids. It's so nice to be appreciated. But I think that is everything. I did the whole outro. Hey, Robin, look at that. You've only got like 2 hours and 20 minutes to work with. I even left you the space for time codes. Also, everybody make sure to shout out and do that one funny head-rubbing meme on Robin. He does our time codes for free. Mostly out of his own psychosis. But yeah, that's everything from me. We will see you back next week for hopefully a more regular Let's Talk FGO. And as I said, we've got other stuff coming up. Check out all our other streams and shows and videos. Obviously, we've got a while to go. We've got some time, but there will be a Wanted Voyager coming up as well, so keep your eye out for that one. I would do a Wanted Kyokoyo, but I don't think that would track very well. Tyranites together strong. Yes. Thank you so much for turning out for this little surprise thing. I appreciate you guys so much for coming out here. Thanks so much. Make sure, like I said, to leave your comments that you also appreciate Lucky as well. Thumbs up, everybody. All right, I'm going to go. I'll see you tomorrow, probably. Good night, everybody.